This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by promoter Eddie Hearn here in London. Eddie, an interesting press conference, some cue cards there. One that you've got in your hand.
What bullshit, that one. I had loads more, but I think because he seemed lost for once, and I was expecting him to say more, but I think his head went. It went well.
Where did the idea stem from?
So someone sent me a message on Instagram earlier today, about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, saying, and this is on the messages from randoms, not even right, and said, I've got an idea. Why don't you reenact the Love Actually scene with cue cards and play Silent Night while you're speaking? And I was like, fucking genius. So I phoned the guys here. I went, get the cards printed up. They wrote the scripts. I did it with them, a few other names as well, and it couldn't have gone any better. Fantastic.
What do you think it is that you specifically just seem to do to get underneath the skin of Chris Eubank Jr?
I do it very well. I've never seen a man dislike me so much. So apparently I've blocked a bloke called Ivan that I've never fucking heard of in my life from coming to the show on Saturday. He believes that stuff. I mean, I don't know who Ivan is. Never met Ivan. Never had a conversation about Ivan. So what can I say?
So you've seen the fathers up on the stage as well. That's a brilliant moment.
Unbelievable. I mean, Nigel Benn looked that close to having a swing at Chris Eubank, and it's like I'm looking at that as a promoter. I'm looking at Nigel, I'm looking at Chris, I'm looking at Conor, I'm looking at Junior, and I'm just going, fuck me. Bring me Saturday.
In the corner of Conor Benn, what's going to be the key for him to maintain his composure?
Well, the last word, composure, but I think the key to that is experience that he had last time, belief. You know, all the things that he experienced through that last fight. He seems to me like a completely different character this time around.
You mentioned up on the stage this will be his last fight up at 160. I think most people would expect that, but how much of a difficult weight cut do you think it will be to get back down to 147?
He believes he'll do it. You'll see physically in this fight he's much bigger. Like when I saw him training a week or so ago, his back, his trunk, his legs, he's massive. But listen, it's not going to be easy. I don't obviously we don't like each other, me and Junior. I respect him. He's a tough man, and he ain't going to make it easier for Conor on Saturday. But I believe Conor Benn wins this weekend.
So we know that the fight was initially slated for September. So those extra couple of months, Eddie, how much do you think it's benefited Conor in terms of maybe allowing himself to put the weight on and get prepared?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that Chris physically couldn't, by the looks of things, couldn't have done September because of what he went through in the first fight. So it is what it is. I don't think the extra time suits any. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't have happened in September, so it's irrelevant. But, you know, it's going to be another war.
Eddie, Anthony Joshuua, Jake Paul, obviously was reported yesterday by the Ring by Mike Coppinger that one's in the works and looking likely for December. What can you tell me?
Yeah, not yet. I mean, there has been conversations, obviously. I think it comes down to how true, you know, they are. Jake Paul is that he actually wants to fight. I mean, he's a madman if he wants to fight. But for some reason, and you know, he thinks he can beat AJ. And I have to be honest, like we were going to have a run out in December, over 8 rounds against a bloke you've never heard of, and we may end up having a run out against Jake Paul for a career high payday. I don't see how we can turn it down.
When I asked you about it a couple of days ago, you said that at that time you never really got into the financials. Have those been discussed now? Have you discussed the financial element?
Yeah, there has been some conversations around that, and it is, I mean, it's a huge amount of money, and I think AJ would be mad if he didn't do it, and I think he will do it if Jake Paul is genuine. We may wake up tomorrow with these people and they've announced another fight. Like, honestly, anything could happen. So I still can't get my head around the fact that this guy wants to challenge AJ. Listen, respect to him if it's true, but we shall see.
To end on that note, I spoke to Alfie Sharman earlier. He said that himself or DAZN have had no conversations about AJ potentially taking that fight. Obviously, AJ is exclusive to DAZN. What's the situation with regards to that? Because I know everyone here.
Apparently the fight's done. Obviously, it's not done because, you know, those conversations have to take place. I'm very confident that I can have some positive conversations with DAZN. Obviously, we'll be on a clock, but it's a 50-50.
Last one from me. I saw Chris McKenna tweeted that Anthony Joshuua currently doesn't have a British Boxing Board of Control licence. Obviously, it's not unusual for someone who isn't fighting currently and he's inactive to let it run out. But he would have to apply for one to face Jake Paul again, and then they'd have to approve a fight. Do you think that'd be something?
It's actually not true. Why would he have to apply for a British Boxing Board of Control licence? I mean, he could apply for a licence in any jurisdiction in the world. But
I think it'd be more likely that he'd take one in America then?
No, but of course, we love the British Boxing Board of Control. That would be, but he doesn't have to do anything. I mean, he can get licensed wherever he wants. So You know, he's approaching the last 2, 3, 4 fights of his career. He's moving around. He's training in different locations. We'll see.
Eddie, thank you.
Cheers.